Dear journal, I am so grateful that my ideas continue to flow. My courage is growing, and I think this is contagious. Curiosity is contagious. So I want to do my part to share it with the world.
Beauty of being free. Don't forget what you love the most. I just want to keep you close.
I like a lot of this over here, so I'm telling myself like leave it alone, and then come down here, and I like this. It's so like I don't want to mess it up. You know what I'm saying? And since I have never done this before, you guys tell me, am I messing up? I'm gonna have to look at the comments. So doing the reductive painting, I can see that the flower's coming forward a little bit more, but I still think I need a little bit more light here. This was a finger painting I did in last Thursdays. I'm gonna do part 2 on it. I'm actually gonna antique it today. So I laid it out on the table and did a little bit different. I did more negative painting with this. You can see what you see, but I see one big large bloom, and I used my DIY paint. Tomorrow we're going to antique with some glaze that is tinted with kind of a brown antiquing walnut color. Might be a mistake, but it's just paint and it's playtime when I get together with my finger painting group. So that's what I have so far. Okay guys, so we just took a photograph for the cover for next year's January volume. I told myself this last year. If it snows this coming year, we're gonna have the foresight to go outside and plan a little bit better. So we did, we bundled up. I got done finger painting, we bundled up, we went, the neighborhood next to us has this great big fountain and pond. So we jumped outside, took the photos, already put them in the Trello board to save them for next year. But when we got back, I was kind of walking through here looking at the light, and I grabbed an easel and grabbed a bunch of supplies, and honestly, I've got this great little setup in here now, and I'm always looking for new places to paint. And so it did take a little bit of work. I had to set up, which means I'm just going to take some pictures here. Who knows what I'll use those for? Their content, but also their inspiration. And so this is a different area of the house where I'm usually painting on the wedding dresses and such. But I set up this little vignette here, added a few little tweaks to my painting, and I think it's really important for us to, when it is cold outside and we can't necessarily paint outside, to find a different window, set up in a different space. It's really inspiring. Like I walked by here and felt inspired just by the light that was coming in. It's still snowing outside. Yeah, I'm right here looking out this window, and I'm gonna paint for just a little bit before I have a call. Something as simple as this on the floor can be all the inspiration you need. Let me know if you try it.
So since I'm still working on all of my images for the magazine, and I had about an hour break, the one that I have in my right hand here, I actually used watercolors to finger paint instead of acrylics or my clay-based paint. I just watercolored with that and my fingers. And now I'm pulling colors, thinking about pinks and reds, and some of these were just some of the things I'd played with, my 10-minute sketches, and I'm laying out, playing with the composition. I also have to remember, have I used this before in a previous photo? I want them to, of course, be unique and really engaging. I tell you guys all the time that I just want you to feel like you want to reach through the screen and pick up something. So being able to stack them, build them in layers. There's a lot of flowers here. There's a lot of texture, pops of color. I want to encourage you also, go grab all your favorite things. Or better yet, grab all of your least favorite things and see if you can combine some of those with your favorites, and maybe you like them a little bit better. It's a new day, and I've got out some of my supplies, and I want to start working on a monochromatic series that I end up titling The Language of Grace. I'm going to use 3 different shades of acrylic inks, and I'm going to put them in my little palette here and water them down. So it helps me have a little bit more control over the intensity of the pigment in the inks. But this is, again, time that I have blocked out to just play. Probably just have about an hour here, but I am including some of my favorite blues. And then I'm going to allow additional space for me to water it down even more so I can have more of that monochromatic look. Okay, I have worked really hard doing meetings and getting everything checked off my list so I could sit down today for a couple of hours. I have watercolor paper all out. I have some inks. I also am going to try my hand at oil paint. I just have these little bitty tubes and little brushes and all the little things that I need just to play around and remind myself what the oil paints feel like. It's been a couple of years since I've even touched any oil paint. So I just have a little bit of here, a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and I'm just going to play. And I'm going to take you along on this journey. But this is the day that I've been working really hard for the last few, so I could check, and get all of the income generating things off of my list, the things where other people are waiting on me so we can move forward. And now it's just time to play. Let's play.
Ooh. Yeah. Like a sunrise horizon, always there, always shining, building me up with the song it's singing, filling my heart like I'm flying. You're always warm, always hold me, the biggest part of my story, healing my soul, help me feel completion, bringing my here to my glory. Yeah. It keeps pulling me back. Keeps pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. Yeah. It keeps pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. Yeah. It keeps pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. It keeps pulling me back to you. Yeah. Never proud, never leaving. I won't ignore when I'm sinking. Can't let go even when I'm wandering. I won't give up on my journey. It won't forget any promise, but won't remember my failure. And never shame me, won't wanna hurt me, won't never fail me. It keeps pulling me back. Pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. It keeps pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. It keeps pulling me back to you. It keeps pulling me back. It keeps pulling me back. It's your love.
That was fun. So what I'm loving about my watercolors are the fact that I can do them. It's not even that I can do them quickly. It's that I can sit. Most of my artwork has always been so big, and my furniture artistry has always just involved my entire body. So this ends up being something that's more relaxing. And I don't think that I've ever been able to describe painting as relaxing. Rewarding, therapeutic, all of those, but not relaxing. So how can I get some more of this in my life? I started noticing pretty quickly that all of the female portraits looked very different, and I'm very inexperienced at this as far as how many times I have done this, but my confidence started growing with every single painting. That was really fun to experience. It's finally time for me to get to paint on some new dresses. These have been on the mannequins, I think, for about 2 months. I think it's been before Thanksgiving that I had a chance to paint on dresses. Now, this one was given to me by a friend, and it's silk from Banana Republic. She only paid $25 for it. And that one also I found at a thrift store, but it had the original tags on it for $20 in Tulsa. So I am going to be painting on these. One of them's going to have gold, haven't decided which, but I'm in between my Friday trainings, my heart talk, and I'll be starting in about an hour. So I set everything up, have the northern light coming in here, and I'm just kind of thinking about if I were to wear this dress. It's silk, so I have to be really soft with the application. But I've been doing this now for 3 years, believe it or not. And I just kind of developed this philosophy that if we look in our closet, we can find a piece of formal wear or dressy dress, and sometimes they only get worn one time. So the same way that I do with my furniture makeovers, reclaiming a piece that has kind of been pushed to the back or pushed to the garage, pushed in the attic, maybe we just pull it out and see if we can give it a new, fresh look. My steamer has become my best friend in getting myself set up for a smooth surface to apply my paint. Okay, so I'm headed to the gym and there is ice on the ground. So, little flurries, 6 degrees in Oklahoma. Not used to that, but I think it's supposed to be back up to over 20 tomorrow. So we are officially in winter, but I do know that some of you states up in the Northeast have such cold temps that you're out of school. And we may be out of school, actually. I would bet, when your kids are not in school anymore, you forget about those kind of things. It happens like overnight. I've got a day of meetings with my mindset mastery ladies, and I'm going to start working on some dresses. 2 navy dresses that I have steamed. I'm going to get a chance to paint on them, I think, unless something else comes up. Going really slow. I'm a good girl. I haven't decided which one of them is going to get the gold, and I also haven't decided which one of them is going to get the white, but I'm also thinking I can fit into one of them now that I've been doing this intermittent fasting, and I'm getting back into some clothes that I've had for years that I had swelled out of. It feels really good to be able to get back in them. Okay, I hope I don't slide through the gate. All right, we're on solid ground now. Here we go. I'm gonna go walk with Mom and I'll report back. I have some things I want to show you. Last week was really good for trying new paints. I worked with the oils, so I want to show you those. Hey Matt, if you're watching this, if you'll clip in some of those photos, that would be awesome. Brand new. I'm brand new to this. When I went to Monet's Garden with a group of lovely people in 2019, I came home and played with oils, thinking I would be some sort of magical artist, because the Monet's Garden just like fluttered its little pixie dust on me or something. Yeah, that didn't work. So then I packed everything back up and said, no, let's go back to these acrylics. I was still scared of the watercolors at that time, but now I'm trying it all. I'm trying it all and I'm loving it. My training in my creative connection is going on right now, and Nancy has just asked me how to sell online. She sets up at workshops in front of people, but how do I do this online year after year? That's the part that made me laugh. That's the part right there that made me want
to hear more about Nancy. So if I have two artists and two pieces that I'm trying to decide between, think about every one of you are just the same. You are going to go with the artist who tells the funny story, who tells about the jacket, who tells them, guys, I have been trying to sell things for years and I sold 2 paintings last year, but I like my work. So how do I do this? Like the one that is vulnerable, the one that shares, the one that opens up and unfolds her interior. Okay, guys, now we paint. After we cough. So, what I typically do is I set up a drop cloth because I water down the paint so much that it is trippy. All right. So I'm going to use the white. So I use a clay-based paint. It's called DIY. It's what I use on all my dress makeovers. I have about 30 in the other room. Yes, about 30 dresses. This is a beautiful $20 dress that had the original tags on that I found in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I have steamed it now. I've got it all ready to go, and I'm just going to create kind of a floral vine pattern. I'm going to keep it simple because the white on the navy is going to be pretty stark, like contrasting. But I did this last year with a long floral gown that had a train, and I loved the combination. This dress is from the same designer and it's the same fabric content. I'm thinking I might wear this one. I have a wedding June 12th to go to, and I think this dress might be the perfect one. So with that in mind, I want to give it a new, fresh look. I want it to be a dress that's worn multiple times. I might change it. I might add some flowers. I don't really know. I just know that I try to look at fashion, especially dresses that are more formal wear, as a work in progress. So just like furniture, they can keep evolving into their own kind of style. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense, but let's get started. I prefer it to be on the mannequin because I like to see how the fabric lays. I'm gonna go off center a little bit here, lightly drag and twist, and dropped a piece of paint here, not cool. And it's dripping, which I love when it has a little drip. That adds some personality to it. So now I'm going to pull that same bottom of this over into the next pleat. Ooh. A little bit tricky working with the pleat. Sometimes I lay these down on the ground. I'm going to bring this all the way up to the waist. Okay. Trying to keep it really abstract. Maybe a little vine here. The other thing I want to share with you guys is I'm filming this by myself, but I've got 2 cameras set up. So as a creative entrepreneur, another thing that you can do is, well, take care of it yourself. But sometimes, as much as I wish Matt was here, he's not. He has to work today. And so this is the time that I have blocked out to paint on the dresses. And so I have to just do it. I have 2 tripods set up. I have to keep stopping what I'm doing, and I have to be able to, thinking. I have to be able to stop and kind of remember, oh, hey, as much as you want to keep going, you need to, oh, see how that happens? Oh gosh, I love when that happens. Let's just go straight over here to the pocket. Oh, she did. Let's just go right over here to the pocket and then flick it. Okay. I'm going to pick this up here. I'm hoping to give him more content than he needs, and then I'm going to kind of cross this one and let it drop. Kind of working with the flow of the fabric in the pleats. I'm letting the pocket be a part of the dress,
and work it into the design. It's customized. I might add some gold. I might add a little green. I think I just made up my mind I'm gonna add a little green. So DIY Paint has another color. It's a brand new color. It's called Eden, and it is this wonderful green. So I think what I'm gonna do in just a few areas, nobody panic. I know I said I was just gonna do blue and white, but I won't know until I try. And I'm not necessarily done with the white, but, oh, did I just talk myself out of it again? Oh, I don't know. Let me look. I'll tell you what, those glasses are changing what I'm seeing anyway. So, we should probably let this dry, Dionne. Talking to myself. But if there's just a few little areas of green, won't that be fun? How will we know? How will we know until we just do it? Okay, go. Okay, go. I don't even know if it'll show up. Okay. We'll do this in a few other areas, but it's not showing up on the navy. So we didn't know until we tried. So I'm just going to do a few other areas for somebody that might be looking really closely. Just a few other areas. Gold might be the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, just walk away from the green and we've got to let it dry. Now that was fun, and I actually think I can fit in. Guys, I have to show you this. Look at this big armoire that I will be starting tonight in my creative connection group. I'm gonna paint the whole thing now, not tonight. It's gonna take me several days, but it's been a while since I have worked on a large armoire of this size. But look at the detail. And I just noticed there's like some starfish. Now this is not an antique. It's huge. I love the pieces that have the panels like this because if I choose to, I can create some sort of piece of artwork on here. But I have a color combination planned. I just had to show you. Sneak peek, getting ready to start it. Good morning. Don't show my mess. I am getting ready to teach a class tonight online. That big, huge wardrobe. And this is my trusty melamine tray. Wide enough. As you can see, I build up layers.
What's it called again?
A melamine? I don't know.
Melamine?
I don't know. That sucker's about 15 years old.
How do you spell that?
Not important. Is that a test? So I put my press and seal over it. And sometimes the paint builds up after project after project. So that just needs to go in the old trash can. Thank you for showing that. But it's wide enough because when I lay all my colors down, I can use my big fat VIP brush. And what we're going to do today is we're getting ready to cover some serious square footage on that wardrobe that happens to be way larger than I thought it was when I told the lady we'd buy it off Marketplace. So I'm preparing for the base coat. We go live at 7 in the group, and I got to come up with a design. I'm worried that it won't sell, so I've got to choose colors that we might like to keep. Know what I'm saying?
That was very dramatic with the glasses.
Did you like that?
Yeah, do it again.
Okay.
But kind of like really flick them off this time.
So I've got to come up with some colors.
Oh, nice. Oh,
really
that was really good. That's going to make the edit.
That's unfortunate. What are you doing? Are you going to help me set up?
I'm getting the lights.
Oh yeah, did you guys know we keep the lights in the bathroom? Yeah. So ring lights are stored in the shower of our guest bathroom. But Our class is not for another 3 hours, but what I'm wanting to do is get the base coat on here because, well, it's going to take a while. That's the dress I painted yesterday. Got a drop cloth down, and on top I've got a little other, what's this blue thing called, Matt? A tarp?
Is it a tarp?
That's a tarp. So, oh girl, ooh, we're about ready to start. Okay, so ring lights are all set up, plugged in, tripods are in here, paint's down here. We're just going to work on the base for the most part tonight, but because this piece is so large, there's no way that I can paint this in like an hour tonight. So I'm going to do the base coat on all of this and down here, and then I'm going to leave this section right here. So when I start my class tonight in the group, I will paint this, the base coat. And then while that's drying, I'll move over here and I'll start with step 2, the second layer. But the main thing we're going to do with this entire makeover is we're going to highlight all this gorgeous curve.
What are we doing?
Gorgeous curve. These gorgeous curves. That sounds...
What are we doing? What are we going to do?
We're going to highlight these. So what we're going to do is when there's a deeper area, we're going to use a darker color. And when there's a raised area, we're going to use a lighter color, Matt. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
You've been around a while. So that's what we're going to do as far as getting a class into an hour. I'm going to leave this. While that's drying base coat, I'll be able to work over here on section 2. And then we'll be able to kind of raise. I need a step stool. Oh, Lordy, I need a step stool. And then we'll come back tomorrow at 7. We'll come back Friday at 7. We'll come back Saturday at 7. And I'll at least get the entire front finished. You're so close. You're so close. Back up. Stop.
I can't use any of this.
Why?
Because I'm too close.
You're going to fall backwards. Can you get out of my face? It's not funny. Move. Now it's 7 o'clock Central Time when I go live for the next 4 days inside my membership, showing them step by step how to do this. The thing is, what you have to know about DIY paint is it's a clay base. That means it's incredibly durable and will stick to anything. It saves me so much time. And if anyone is interested, I will be adding this color recipe to my email newsletter list next week. Okay, so after part 1 in my group, we have a very loud base coat. But don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. The panels were really fun to do. I used 4 colors from DIY, including Flirtatious here. We have Blood Moon in there on the panels. We have Water Lily and we have Hey Sailor. So tonight we will be working on part 2, and the goal is to make this piece look as if it were painted 100 years ago. So there'll be lots of distressing. We'll finish it with black wax, but of course we're going to be adding gold too. Yes, just drove off. You know what that means? No, you don't? It means that there's a pile of leaves on my porch. No, actually it means, let's see if this is it. Yes, it is. This is my box of magazines. So let's, okay, hold the phone. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is the winter volume of the magazine. Okay, so I actually didn't get to open the box because I had to go finger paint inside my membership group. And so I did that, and now it's time. So I'm cutting this open, this box. I try to keep some in inventory here. Of course, I get one for me and my mom and my mother-in-law. whoever. And then we sell, sell them on the website. So anyway, this is my first time seeing the paper magazine in person. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at the colors. So our winter volume is Savor each moment. And when you subscribe, oh, look at the back too. Matt was standing on the back of the sofa while I was sitting, and he was leaning over my head to take this picture. But yeah, this was a setup that we did. And so every one of the magazines comes in this plastic sleeve straight from our printer, and they ship in batches. And it's a wonderful family-owned business. And they do all the work themselves, and they're completely wonderfully devoted to what we're doing here. And yeah. Okay. So I give you a sneak peek. You guys, I would love if you would subscribe to the magazine. That's how we're going to be able to keep printing magazine and featuring creatives from all over the world. It's just one of ours in this. Oh gosh, there's so much here, you guys. So magazines are beautiful, but not all magazine has heart, and that's what makes this one so unique. It's for creatives by creatives, and I love being able to give creatives a place to be featured. Morocco, one of my high school friends traveled to Morocco and travels the world. The Language of Grace. I have 12 ready and on my website now. I think they make a perfect gift, don't you? So I'm giving you a sneak peek, but pretend you can't see all of this. It's much bigger than I am, but thanks for watching this week. It's been a week filled with creativity and flow, and I'm also gonna put the dress on and model it for you so you can see what it actually looks like in a body. Whether I can zip up the back or not, you'll never know. Thanks for watching this week. We'll see you in the very next video. Bye.